Hey everybody, what's going on? Dace here and welcome back. Today we are doing another double review and comparison, and this time we're looking at the Haute Mini and B16 all-button controllers that Haute42 recently sent me. And in case you weren't aware, the Haute42 brand is upgrading to Cosmox, so if you see me posting Cosmox controller reviews in the future, you'll know who it is. Before we get into the specifics, I'll share some general information that applies to both controllers, and then we'll delve into each one individually. The Haute Mini and B16 both run GP2040CE firmware, have an overclocked polling rate for less than 1 millisecond of input latency, house Leobog Greywood V4 switches, and support multiple platforms, including Windows 10 or higher, Steam Deck, PS3 and PS4, Nintendo Switch, Raspberry Pi, Mister, Android, Linux, iPadOS, and macOS. Both include built-in embedded web configuration, button layout swapping, turbo functions, and multiple SOCD modes. Each one comes with a USB cable, an extra Leobog switch, anti-slip pads, spare 6mm button caps, a switch puller, and manual. Now let's take a closer look at the Haute Mini. The Mini offers us a hot swappable PCB with an 18-button layout, including our 4 directions and 8 action buttons, and then along the top left we have turbo, home, back, start, LS, and RS. The controller weighs 188.5 grams, measures 160mm across, 75mm deep, and 12mm thick. The buttons sit very high due to the XDA keycaps floating on top of the already high sitting micro switches. I don't mind this personally, though seeing a low profile version would be awesome. I'm really into the silver ink on black, and the textured lining of the top plexi is a nice touch. We have 4 screws at the back holding everything together, and through the frosted layer we have our input modes, including switch, X input, PS3, D-pad, PS4, and keyboard. As for performance, when I first stumbled upon the Mini, I was incredibly interested in checking it out because it was super tiny and provided an opportunity to experiment with playing on a keyboard-style controller, specifically the WASD setup for arcade games, something I had never done before. I immediately noticed that certain moves were coming out cleaner than ever before, especially ones I needed at the last second or when I knew an opponent was starting to close distance to lock me in a corner and I wanted to apply some fast pressure to push back. This didn't surprise me because I always had suspicions about how things might go if I played on a keyboard-style controller, but experiencing this firsthand was still interesting. Given its small size and compact design, I wondered if it would feel cramped, but I found it totally comfortable to be on. It's got a firm yet light-sounding click, and I didn't encounter any problems while playing, so that's always great too. At the time of this recording, the Haute Mini is priced at around 55 Canadian, 40 USD, or 32 pounds. That said, the last time I checked AliExpress, it was on sale for 29% off, putting it at an absurd low of just under 39 Canadian. An absolute no-brainer if you have any interest in checking this one out yourself. Furthermore, you can also purchase a do-it-yourself version where you get all of the loose components and can assemble the Mini at your leisure. I think this is a really cool option, especially for those who want to get a little more hands-on with some of this stuff but aren't sure where to start. Overall, I think this is an excellent controller and it's just a blast to play on, so I'm very pleased with and thankful to have this. Now let's talk about one of their latest models, the B16. This thing packs a serious punch. It provides us with a 21-button layout including our 4 directions, M1 and M2 custom keys, LS, RS, and 8 action buttons. We have a turbo button at the top left and minus, back, start, and home. Our power LED and USB-C port are located on the left side near the top, and this time around we have an EXT port near the top midsection. The B16 gives us the same controller modes as the Mini. We have hot swappable switches and custom RGB LED lighting, which, with the keycaps, gives a really nice glow in a dark room. I really like the subtle dotted texture of the top plexi. Once more, we have high-sitting keycaps, which I don't mind, but again, a low-profile version would be great to see. The controller weighs 312.2 grams, measures 198mm across, 98mm deep, and 11mm thick. At the back we have 6 screws and a solid black plexi, which is a nice change. One thing to note about this one, the Mini, and others is that the screws do protrude. So if that's going to be an issue based on the surface you're playing on, then definitely use the anti-slip pads or get some thicker ones if you want a little extra height. I only ever play in my lap, so this is never a problem. One thing I will say though is that I would have preferred the USB-C port to be located along the top, not the left side. My Switch dock is to the right of me while playing, and I'm in front of a large TV screen, so I always sit further back. It's a bit of a stretch for the cable to come out from the left and then bend back and over to the dock. Even if I had a longer cable to remedy this, I'm still not into the feeling of this jutting out and over my legs since I play with it in my lap. That said, it's not really a big deal, it's just something I'm aware of, and if you're playing on a desk, then it'll be a non-issue. In terms of performance, like the Mini, I play super clean on this thing. It controls very well, is comfortable, and doesn't feel cramped. The soft click is pleasing to the ear, and I've encountered no problems. All around, it's just another fantastic controller. As for pricing, you can find the B16 on AliExpress for around 124 Canadian, 90 USD, or 72 pounds. But at the time of this recording, it's on sale for 55% off. This is another absolute bargain if you like what you've seen in this video. You can also track down their controllers on Amazon US, Japan, and Europe for those interested. One thing that would be amazing to see is the option to have a colored plexi layer on top, like a bright shiny purple, blue, orange, green, whatever. One thing that's really cool is that Focus Attack is working on a custom art template and clear plexi option for the Mini. Despite the tiny size of the controller, the potential for personalizing things is something I'm really into. To wrap this up, the Haute Mini and B16 are both solid options, and in general, Haute42 controllers continually blow me away. Seeing the company's momentum and what the Haute42 team provides for the community is awesome. I believe there's something here for everybody, and I think that's really cool. I want to extend a huge thanks to everyone who is a part of Haute42/Cosmox. I do not take your generosity and trust for granted. I really appreciate these opportunities, so thank you so much. I'd also like to thank everybody who stuck around until the end. Let me know what you think in the comments, which controller you're most drawn to, or what you'd like to see next. Very soon I'll be covering the Cosmox Hotpad P12, which is their latest model, unless of course they have new ones rolled out by the time this video goes up. Either way, I'm very excited and trust you'll join me in checking that one out. That said, have a stellar one everybody, and we'll see you all next time. Take care.